Hi everyone, my name is Patrick Prentice, and I'm the bird show manager here at Parrot Jungle Island. And today I'm going to introduce you to a very special bird that Mother Nature has cooked up for you guys to see today. She's one of the most beautiful birds in the world, but she's also known as the most deadly, and I'm going to show you exactly why. And this, everybody, is Mama Cass, our 15-year-old cassowary. Mama Cass is a southern double wattle cassowary, as you can tell by our two wattles there. They're native to northern Australia. They're omnivores, and everybody knows what that means. They eat everything, and they're actually known to eat humans too. The cassowary is the closest living relative to the velociraptor because of their foot structure. The foot structure is almost the exact same as a velociraptor. The only difference between a cassowary and a velociraptor is its hind leg. It doesn't have the extra hook on the back of it. But they kill in much the same way. They use that inner toe of theirs. They have 3 toes with 6-inch nails at the end of each toe. And the middle one is the longest, and it will stab a person right through their gut. They'll either slice down and spill your guts in the ground in one kick, or they'll kick you straight forward and break your back from the front. It's amazing. They've been known to go behind people without a sound, break their back, and eat them while they're still alive. That's a crazy way to die, if you ask me. Now, the cassowary is filled with all blue skin, even under its feathers here. Right there, all blue, all over its body. And it's a flightless bird, which means she can't fly, although she's covered in these beautiful black feathers that cover her entire body. Now you're probably asking yourself, why in the world would anybody want to work with a cassowary? Well, let me tell you what. This cassowary, Mama Cass, is the most unique cassowary in the world. She did put my boss in the hospital for 3 weeks, and she put a hole in his thigh that's about 6 inches deep, right to the bone. At Parrot Jungle here, we have people sitting in the audience right here, so close they can even touch the cassowary. But she is able to control herself, and we're able to control her as she's on stage. Although she has been freaked out before and jumped into the audience, but no one's been hurt. Although there is always the possibility of an animal turning on its trainer, but it's just the risk you have to take.
Many families visit theme parks for fun, where they ride on sanitized, homogenized, engineered rides, or scream at mechanical crocodiles, or laugh and giggle at plastic parrots. They never really get in touch with nature there, now do they? Now sit back and let's take a look right now at some real tropical parrots, condors from the Amazon, crocodiles, great apes from the jungle, being trained by expert trainers. And perhaps you can pick up some tips for when you're working with Fido or Sylvester the pussycat.
Hi, my name is Patrick Prentice. I am the bird show manager here at Parrot Jungle Island. My brother Ryan is the assistant manager. We've been here for about 2 years now, and training birds and making shows and making people smile.
Hi, my name is Ryan Prentice, and I'm a bird trainer and handler for Carvalho's Friends of a Feather. Now, Carvalho's Friends of a Feather was started by Joe Carvalho about 30 years ago in California. He's been doing bird shows for 30 years. Right now, he has 4 different shows around the world. He has a show in Spain, 3 shows in Florida, 1 in Busch Gardens at Tampa, another at Universal in Orlando, and 1 right here in Miami at Parrot Jungle Island.
To train any bird, or any animal for that matter, you need to have to use positive reinforcement, which means when a bird's something you want them to do, they get rewarded for it. And if they do any bad behavior, you ignore them. You don't want to slap a bird around or spank it on the bottom, because a bird's not going to understand discipline like that. I mean, They don't understand what you're saying, they don't understand what you're doing. They do understand that you have food, and if you reward them with food, that was a good thing. So they usually try to please you in that manner. So if you, let's say you have a bird that you want to train to throw like a football. First you would spend lots of time with him, get to know him, be his friend, and then you would, you'd very slowly and gradually try to get his foot, turn him into your body, pick him up, slide your hand underneath, and curl him into a football. Then what you do is reward him for that, and you put some seeds on the table or something like that and let him feed while he's in that position. And he knows that it's really good to be in that position, and he'll want to be in that position. And then you release him like a football very lightly, and he'll fly back to you, and you feed him again. A big handful in your hand to make sure he knows that that was really good, that he did a really good job. And you kiss him and play with him, and that's all it is.
We use a method of training called positive reinforcement for all of our birds, including an Andean condor, a cassowary, king vultures, other vultures, and many different parrots. Now Rio right here is our Calaveras macaw, and I'm going to show you exactly how we train our birds through positive reinforcement. Hi! Watch my hand movements throughout this next part to see exactly how I use positive reinforcement to encourage good behavior. Can you say hello? Hello! Yeah. Well, why don't you tell everyone what's your name? Rio! Oh, your name? Rio! Hey, Rio, why don't you show them that big dog of yours? Can you bark? Yeah, well, Rio, let's try that same big dog, but this time with fleas. Can you bark? Don't forget those fleas. Get him, Rio. Yeah. Can you be a rooster? Uh-huh. Well, that's pretty cool for Rio the rooster. All right, now call the cat. Call the cat. Call the cat. Call the cat. See, right now, he's not calling a cat, and he's not getting food. I think Rio is checking you out. Hey, Rio, do you think she's pretty? Yeah, well, you could have a date with Rio, but he is our showbird, and you have to get him back on time. Hey, Rio, what time's your curfew? Midnight. Well, speaking of curfews, it's about time for him to get done. Hey, Rio, say bye. Say bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye. That's Rio, our Calaveras macaw.
I like to use time after the show to strength train our birds, especially the condor, because he's such a huge, massive bird that it takes a lot more for him to stay in shape. It's usually not windy in our theater, but when it is windy, it's a lot harder for him to fly. I mean, condors are usually known to fly for hours, but they don't normally flap their wings. They use upper level wind currents to get to where they want to go. That means all they have to do is keep their wings open, not flapping. Flapping actually takes an enormous amount of energy from their body. Each flap consumes a lot of energy, which they'd rather prefer not to use, because they don't know when their next feeding is going to be, when they're going to find another dead animal. So what I like to do with him is to keep his strength up, is I do verticals, is what we call them. And it means we find a wall and we put some meat on top of the wall, and he'll fly straight up with a couple of strokes of his wings. And each stroke is like lifting a weight to a human. I mean, that's the basic comparison, because each flap will just strengthen those muscles in his breastplate and on his wings. So that way, if he doesn't encounter strong winds in a show, there'll be no problem for him. And so I like to keep the strength up, and doing those verticals each day will keep that strength up for him, so no matter if it's windy or rain or whatever, he can fly through it and be just fine.
Hi, I'm Joe Wazalewski. I'm the president of Natural Selections, and it's a company that does business here in South Florida as sort of a wildlife consultant, whether it be to Florida Power and Light, the crocodile monitoring program, Parrot Jungle Island for a popular reptile show, Hollywood movies. I just worked on Pirates of the Caribbean 2 and 3, Discovery Channel, National Geographic, and it goes on and on.
That ain't no Florida gecko. Joe has a full-grown Nile monitor lizard, and if that guy bites you, He has 80 lethal pathogenic bacteria he can infect you with. Yikes.
Yeah, I'm all alone now, and then you're going to see in just about a minute I'll be surrounded by tortoises all over the place. And these are redfoot tortoises. And I'll get to feed them by hand here. And they won't bite, but you got to watch your fingers as the lettuce goes down. So, you know, they say reptiles are not that smart or anything, but you could see, actually, you'll see them just keep coming over by me, because they are certainly used to being fed, as you can see. Here comes a big guy. Oh, it's easier to take that one's food. Oh, and here comes another one out of the hut. A late bloomer. Who says you can't train a tortoise? How many people you know have them jumping right in their lap? I'm going to show you the difference between an alligator and a crocodile. And the first one I'm going to bring out here, just a little baby crocodile. It's about 4 years old now, and this is actually a Cuban crocodile. It's there's many different varieties of crocs in the world. Actually, there's 13 different varieties of crocodiles. And you can see the sharp teeth of the crocodile. Crocodiles have very pointed shaped snouts. And watch, when I close the mouth, the teeth still protrude. You can still see the teeth. When I bring out an alligator, you'll see the difference. Let's see, where is the alligator? It'll just take a second or two here. I got the right end, sort of. There. Okay, we got him. Oh, you don't want to be a piece of 2x4. So, this is an alligator. And you can see he's not in too good of a mood, but he's about the same size as the crocodile, about the same age. And I'm going to close his mouth here because all of their muscles are for crushing, not for opening. And you see, when the mouth is held shut, you can't even hardly see the teeth. They sort of fit in grooves, unlike the crocodile. And you can see they are kind of pretty powerful. He's calling, he's not too thrilled with being grabbed. Tail is pretty strong. And I handle these almost every day for shows and talks and presentations and TV shows.
Hi, my name is Adarsh McCabe, and for the last 20 years I've worked with a company called Tigers. That's the Institute of Greatly Endangered and Rare Species, and we're the world's largest company for training animals for movie and television. Ruma, this chimpanzee we're going to take a look at, she was in Vogue last year, and she had to do some fun stuff with a coconut. So that ability just to grab and point and say, stay here, very valuable in film and TV. This is Ruma. She's a 4-year-old female chimpanzee. This is really an optimal age to work with chimps because they are like us as kids. At 4 years old, their brain starts opening up, and like toddlers, they really start wanting to know about everything. And that makes the teaching process very easy. This young lady we adopted at 6 months old. She has lived with us ever since, and in our protocol of raising apes, all primates sleep with trainers at night because they all are part of communal societies. So we're going to go through this little stick 'em up bang here. Ruma's very good at it now. She's been doing it for several years. The first thing we do is we teach them to stand up straight. Can you sit down for me, please? Very good. Can you stand up big? So that's the first step right there, just teaching them to stand up. You can see Ruma has phenomenal posture for a chimpanzee. She's just one of those ones that really is natural for her. You can see her hips move forward. Many chimpanzees have a hard time doing stuff like this. Stand up big for us, please. Yes, very nice. And put your hands up. Hands up. Yes, that's Ruma right now is doing part of the routine that she knows. It's a little more advanced. That whole jumping up and down is dodging bullets. But we're going to do the basics here. So we have stick him up and stay, and then bang. Stay. Lay down big. Very nice. All right. Very nice. Good to have one of these. How about you use your hands so they're not all goobery? Sit down. This is the good stuff, the Skittles. Everything on earth works for Skittles. Another thing I can show you about modeling, the ways you just move their bodies into position. Good, stand up nice and tall. Now, chimpanzees don't actually smile. Humans are about the only animal that does smile. Most animals, when they're showing their teeth because they're saying, look at my big dangerous teeth, back off. But people love to see chimps smile so much that I teach them to do it for photographs and just so the crowds can see them. And here's how you do it. It's very simple. You just gently push the cheeks back. Now, it stays that way because she's learned to make it stay that way. Good, stand up, pig, stand up, stand up. She knows that I'm goofing around when I'm doing it, so she thinks it's a very funny thing. Good, stay. Very nice. Now, that's the action that I used when I trained her. I actually pushed her mouth back with my hands. So as I fade this back into something that I can do on a movie set where I can't be right next to her, it's actually still the same command. I use my hands, good, stay. I use my hands just like this to say smile, because this is actually the hand gesture that I used into creating the modeling practice. Good, stand up big, look at me, big smile, that's so nice, big smile, and close it up big, and a big smile, big smile, big smile, let's do those big teeth. That's nice. That's some good stuff. Good, sit down. Now after you work, you gotta have a treat, but it's also good to run around and be crazy, and that's what chimps do best. All right, go on. If I give her the opportunity to do whatever she wants, by releasing her, the command that I gave her was all right, and all right is my release command that I use so that animals, when I'm working, know when it's okay to stop working. All right, let's go. Here, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. All the choices she just made of where to go, what to do to hit that drum, to climb up there, these are choices she's making. I'm not telling her to do anything in particular. I'm just giving her the opportunity to hang out and blow off steam and feel like she has a little control over the